Hey class, so in this video I'm observing a lone European starling scavenging for food in my small yard. I was unable to capture the mimicking that I wrote about in BOM2, but I did capture the serpentine movement of the starling. As it covers ground, it is significant to their development and survival. You can see how the bird moves from an area searching around in a serpentine movement, kind of scattered. This allows it to use energy to its fullest advantage, scavenging an area thoroughly. I have 4 hypotheses. The first is the serpentine walk of the European starling was caused by the need to confuse or evade predators. Rapid movement heightens their senses while scavenging from a vulnerable position as this. Another is that the starlings developed their serpentine style due to enhanced olfactory senses. The starlings seem to stick their nose and beak down close to the ground, likely to smell for resources. The third hypothesis is that the European starlings evolved to walk in a serpentine manner due to the changes in environment from human development. Given this case, the starlings have limited yard to cover with less resources, so they need to cover the ground thoroughly. The final is that the serpentine walk allows the European starlings to function as a group while scavenging a given area. I found one article that supports this last hypothesis. It's called Patch Assessment and Foraging Flocks of European Starlings, Evidence for the Use of Public Information by Jennifer Templeton. Templeton explains how starlings use patch sampling and public information as a social group, so they work together for resources. Another resource I found was Periodic Food Availability and Strategic Regulation of Body Mass Index, the European Starlings, by Witter and others. Witter and others stated how birds use photoperiodic history. They memorize areas for resources, which could support my third hypothesis, stating that they've learned this due to human development reducing their resources. Another source I found was Scavenging and Behavior of Common Starlings by David and Patrick Latham. David and Patrick Latham observed starlings as they scavenged and came back to places they had previously known to be an area with resources. So we could possibly use the serpentine movement to memorize an area. The last source was, does weather or site characteristics influence the ability of scavengers to locate food, by Rizika and Conover. Rizika and Conover state that some olfactory scavengers rely on odors and to locate food. This supports my second hypothesis, stating that they developed enhanced olfactory senses. Now, we learned in Cog Books Section 8, we learned about mechanisms of orientation or navigation. In this video, we can see how the starling is navigating and searching for food. It picks a site it finds viable for resources and searches as much of it as possible. Now, this is talking about migration. However, it does state that animals have adapted to know whether to move and when to move. In this case, the starling is using its senses to find resources and understand the yard as a potential for a meal later on. It increases reproductive success by finding locations with resources that increases its mass.